Now I'm here to discuss Chapter 3, socialization, specifically the part of mead and role taking. First of all, it says that significant others are basically the people who should influence you the most and who you should care about the most. Also, who you would do anything for, putting yourself in their shoes, seeing the big picture, things like that. Um, I believe that this is a really important chapter. Um, First of all, significant others. You get married, you have a girlfriend, you're cohabitating, whatever you're doing. Significant others are the most important people in your life. Your parents, your friends, your family. No one is more important than your family. Um, you really gotta put yourself in their shoes, and if you're doing something wrong or right, and if they're struggling in life while they're doing well, put yourself in their shoes once and see how they live, and how their life is going and things like that, because you want to do everything you can to help them out. That's what I do. If one of my family members is struggling, I'm there for them. I put myself in their shoes. I help them out. I do whatever I need to do to be there for them. Um, it also discusses like the generalized other, like of how people think of us. I I don't really care too much what people think of us. My family and I, my girlfriend, her her parents, things like that. I don't really care. What matters is what you have now. Um, but that's really what a generalized other is someone who, or what like, what people think of you or your family or whatever, things like that. I I personally, I mean, sometimes I care about what other people think of us, but a lot of times I don't, because what happens happens, and you can't really take back what happens, things like that. But I really like to just focus on significant others, family, who you really, really care about, the most important people in your lives anyway. And I mean, what other people do, I think about, I care about, I talk about it if something happens between another family. But I hate when people talk about things that happen in our family. So it really goes both ways. You can't pick and choose, what's right and wrong, because everyone does it. Everyone, you know, looks at other people differently, and talks about it, and that you get mad if someone does that about your family, but what do? You do it too, so it doesn't help any. So as far as role taking goes, that's basically the big one. If something goes bad, who's going to be the one to take charge? Who's going to be the one to step up, help your family out, help your significant other out when something really goes wrong? And that's what I like to do. I like to, something happens with my girlfriend, I like to be the one there. I like to be the one fixing the problem, something like that. As far as other people go, I really don't know what they think or what their opinions are. I just know what I do. There goes back to the generalized other again. What people think of us. If there's a big crowd of people and something goes wrong with my significant other, and they feel embarrassed, I do whatever I have to do. I don't care what other people think. And that's the way people should think in life. And that's, sometimes, or not always, you should do this. But when something goes wrong and it's your family member, stuff has to happen. You know, it's just the way it is. It also goes on to discuss about like imitation play and team games, things just to keep the mind going. To help out with role taking. It shows like the different ages of people, who, what their risks involve and stuff like that, and who's accountable for them and who will be there for them, things like that. I just think that's one of the most important things in life is, your significant other. Just put yourself in their shoes. What would they think? Stuff like that. Don't really care what other people think. that's the way I go about looking at life. So that's my opinion on chapter 3.